The world of Formula One has just been shaken by a controversy that could change everything we thought we knew about the competitive balance of the sport. What started as quiet whispers in the paddock has now turned into a serious situation involving the FIA, Scuderia Ferrari, and Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team. At the center of it all is team principal Toto Wolff. And the pressure is now higher than ever. This situation is not just another minor disagreement between teams. It is something that could directly impact performance, reputation, and the balance of power on the grid. For weeks, there had been subtle hints from insiders suggesting that one team was gaining an unusual advantage during qualifying sessions. In Formula One, pushing the limits is part of the game, but there is always a fine line between innovation and bending the rules. Reports began to suggest that Ferrari engineers had started noticing patterns in Mercedes' performance that did not quite add up. The car seemed to find extra pace at very specific moments, particularly when it mattered the most. These sudden gains raised questions, and in a sport where every millisecond counts, even the smallest irregularity can become a major concern. Ferrari did not rely on assumptions. Instead, they reportedly began a detailed internal analysis. This included studying telemetry data, reviewing onboard footage, and closely examining tire behavior across multiple sessions. The deeper they looked, the more suspicious things appeared. The concern was not necessarily that Mercedes had done something blatantly illegal, but rather that they may have found a clever way to exploit a gray area within the regulations. This is often where the biggest controversies in Formula One begin, because exploiting loopholes can sometimes be just as impactful as breaking rules outright. Once Ferrari gathered enough confidence in their findings, the situation was escalated to the FIA. At this point, the matter moved from speculation to official attention. The FIA is responsible not only for enforcing rules, but also for ensuring fairness and maintaining the integrity of the sport. When a top team raises concerns supported by data, it cannot be ignored. What followed was a series of technical discussions behind the scenes, involving engineers, officials, and team representatives. These conversations are rarely public, but they are often where the most important decisions are made. After reviewing the situation, the FIA reportedly introduced a clarification or technical directive. While this may not sound dramatic on the surface, such directives can have a significant impact. They are often designed to close loopholes or restrict certain interpretations of the rules. In effect, they can act as a quiet ban on a specific method or advantage. These changes do not always come with penalties or public accusations, but they can immediately affect how a car performs on track. In this case, the team most likely to feel the impact would be Mercedes. For a team like Mercedes, even a small change in regulations can have serious consequences. If part of their competitive edge was based on a specific interpretation of the rules, losing that advantage could result in slower qualifying times, reduced tire efficiency, and less overall consistency. Formula One operates on extremely fine margins, and any disruption can shift a team from the front of the grid to a much more competitive midfield battle. The timing of such a change also matters, as it can interrupt development plans and force teams to quickly adapt under pressure. This situation also places Toto Wolff in a challenging position. As the leader of the team, he must balance internal confidence with external communication. Publicly, he is expected to defend his team and maintain a strong image. Internally, however, adjustments may need to be made quickly to recover any lost performance. In Formula One, leadership is tested not just during victories, but during moments of uncertainty. How Mercedes responds to this situation could define their season. At the same time, this development represents a strategic victory for Ferrari. By identifying a potential issue and bringing it to the FIA's attention, they have managed to influence the competitive landscape. Even if the original claim was not explosive on its own, the resulting regulatory clarification levels the playing field. This is a common but powerful aspect of Formula One competition. Teams are constantly analyzing each other, not just to improve themselves, but also to challenge their rivals when necessary. Success in Formula One often comes from both performance on the track and strategy off it. From a technical perspective, the exact details of the situation remain complex, as is often the case in Formula One. Teams constantly search for advantages in areas such as aerodynamics, tire management, energy deployment, and suspension systems. If Mercedes had found a way to optimize one of these elements under specific conditions, it could explain the performance differences that caught Ferrari's attention. However, once such an advantage is questioned and reviewed, it becomes difficult to maintain without regulatory adjustments. This situation highlights the deeper nature of Formula One as a sport. It is not just about drivers racing on track, but also about engineers pushing boundaries, teams interpreting regulations, and governing bodies maintaining fairness. Every season includes moments where innovation meets regulation, and the outcome can reshape the competitive order. These moments are often not immediately visible to fans, but they play a crucial role in determining who succeeds and who struggles. Looking ahead, the key question is how Mercedes will respond. If the FIA's directive significantly impacts their performance, the team will need to adapt quickly. This could involve redesigning certain aspects of the car setup or finding alternative ways to regain lost performance. Mercedes has a history of strong recoveries, and their ability to respond under pressure should not be underestimated. However, the challenge remains significant, especially in a season where competition is already intense. For Ferrari, this could be an opportunity to gain momentum. Any reduction in a rival's advantage opens the door for better results and increased confidence. In a tightly contested championship, even small shifts can lead to major changes in standings over time. The psychological impact is also important, as teams that feel they are gaining ground often perform with greater confidence and consistency. In the end, this entire situation serves as a reminder of how quickly things can change in Formula One. A single investigation, a technical clarification, or a subtle regulatory shift can alter the trajectory of a season. For Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team and Toto Wolff, this moment represents a serious test. For Scuderia Ferrari, it is a chance to capitalize on a rival's setback, and for the sport as a whole, it reinforces why Formula One continues to deliver drama both on and off the track.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.